Gold and silver continue to astound the markets, and there's no sign of it slowing down. We're going to discuss what happened in the precious metal space and why this is not the end. Let's explore. Now, I say that this is not the end. Of course, I could be wrong about that. But nonetheless, the bullish run for both gold and silver continues at a strong pace. And why is that? Well, the simple answer is all the fundamentals are still there for the metals to climb, with interest rates cuts coming and with other factors that are in play. Unless there's some great big moves on the geopolitical front, I don't think there's any sign of a slowdown with both gold and silver. I'm going to be referencing an article here from Jim Wyckoff about what's going on with gold and how silver is also benefiting from gold right now. But I think we have not quite seen the benefit yet to silver based off of what I reported on this morning. So what is going on here? Well, before we get too far into that, the precious metal prices right now, moments before the markets close, are as follows. Gold is up over almost $70 right now to $3,830. That's right. It has broken through, smashed through that $3,800 mark to reach yet a new all-time high when adjusted for inflation for gold. That's pretty amazing. In fact, it got up $4 more than that earlier in the day. It's up 1.84%, outperforming silver today. Yes, that's right. Silver is up 1.79% to $46.94. But several times, multiple times today, it broke through that $47 mark. In fact, the high today is $47.22. I think it's only a matter of time, but there's some resistance there, obviously, with silver's price. And $47 was there like 4 or 5 times today. It's been an amazing thing to see with silver. Platinum is also up $24 today, up 1.5% to over $1,600 an ounce now per ounce. And that's remarkable to see for platinum. Platinum is, by the way, I think is up like 65 or so percent this year. I think it is likely the best performing of all the precious metals. Silver not too far behind it though right now, but again, it has not performed quite as well as gold today. So the big news is that gold has reached another all-time high. Now we're going to get into that in a moment because I was very fortunate. I made a purchase with Summit Metals with some more gram bars here that we're going to put inside of the wallet. The wallet here that they have here, we're going to put them inside there. So let us go through and make the cut so that we can make the cut again to fill up that wallet. Not quite to a point now where we can say we've filled the wallet completely, but we're getting close. Buying sort of somewhat on a dip with regards to the price of gold. But these little gram gold bars are an affordable way to be able to make your entry point into gold. And thanks to Summit Metals, boy, they ship this thing out quick. Yes, indeed. So if you want to get a good fast shipping, check out Summit Metals as I plug another one in there. There we go. That's bar number 1. And, we're going to do bar number 2 here in a moment. And because it's better to have bar some than bar none with regards to gold, there's no question about that. So there is bar 2, and here is bar 3. Now, if I had 0.1 grams more, it would be a full 10th ounce. And the price of these were about the same price, maybe a little bit more than if I were to get a 10th ounce coin, depending on the type of coin it was. And so that's pretty nice to be able to get fractional gold like this, something that's tangible. You can see now I just need two more gram gold bars to fill this thing up. Oh, it's nice to be able to move along and fill up something like this from Summit Metals. So check them out at summitmetals.com. Now, getting back to what the markets are doing right now, it's exciting it's very exciting to see the movement in gold's price and silver's price for sure, trading at all-time highs when adjusted for inflation, with gold and silver yet another 14-year high as it touched $47. And the futures market is already hovering around for the December futures up at $48 plus. And global stocks were mixed to firmer over the night, and U.S. stock indexes are pointed to higher openings when the New York session day began. Top U.S. congressional leaders will meet with President Trump at the White House to discuss a short-term spending bill ahead of the deadline, devoid of federal government shutdown, on Wednesday. It's coming up very soon, and that could have an effect. And some now they are saying that there is a chance we could see a shutdown, and I think that may be part of the reason why the metals are moving up. Democrats are insisting that the bill must include an extension of health care subsidies and a restoration of budget cuts to health care. Republicans say negotiations for those issues can happen after averting a shutdown. The bill would only fund the government until mid-November and must pass before the 1st of October. The Republicans need at least some Democrats to back the short-term bill in the Senate. The U.S. dollar is under pressure to start the week due to government shutdown uncertainty. Trump has raised the stakes by threatening permanent dismissals of unfunded, non-essential federal workers in the event of a shutdown, breaking with decades of precedent that has typically allowed furloughed employees to return after funding resumes. So there we go, and I think that threat may bring them back to the table. So we'll see how that plays out. But there's other things. We talked about what was going on with China in this morning's video. If you've not seen that, I'll link to it at the end screen here, because it's very important that we watch what happens in China, especially with some of the silver pricing there and the arbitrage opportunity that makes its way in those markets. But gold and silver indeed are shining right now dramatically. Gold, I tell you what, it is possible we could see $4,000 gold by the end of the year at this pace. And silver, yep, we could see $50. I'm not committed to that yet in terms of my price prediction. But when we see $47 hit like multiple 4 or 5 times here today, and at the end of the trading session pull back a bit, this gives me a sign that we could very well may be on our way to that strong $50 mark. A very strong psychological number that once we get there is still far, far short of the all-time high when adjusted for inflation, which means that, yes, I'm saying it, $50 silver is still undervalued, especially when compared to gold and even other asset classes out there. Yeah, I'm saying that right now. You would not have heard me say that probably a year ago, but I probably would have came close to saying $45 silver would be undervalued. But given inflation is really still sticky with us, and there's other aspects, and given the geopolitical circumstances we find ourselves under, I do think that $50 silver is still undervalued. And we're getting close to it again. And in terms of raw numbers and in terms of nominal dollars, well, we're getting close to its all-time high right now. And it doesn't look like it's got any hint of even slowing down at this point. Although, again, in late trading, it has pulled back somewhat. But tomorrow's a new day. And most of you agree with me. According to those who partook in my live stream during our Sunday night market watch, we watched silver kind of pop out at a pretty good clip there, and gold too. And then we saw the price move up, and you partook in a poll that I took about what you thought silver would do by the end of the week. Would it hit $48 an ounce? And I want to know from you watching this video, in case you missed that live stream, if you think that's going to happen. Do you think we'll see $48 silver by this Friday? I tell you what, normally I would probably be a no on it, but given what I talked about this morning and what's going on in China, I think it's going to be a yes. But it is remarkable what we've been seeing here lately. And as I've mentioned in another video recently, I'm cautiously optimistic. That does not mean I'm negative on silver, especially silver. I'm positive. I think it's going to do well. I think we're going to continue to see this move up. But remember, there will come a day, and I don't know when it's going to be, but likely it's going to come sooner rather than later. And that time frame is also up for debate. But there will be a correction in prices. For those of us who have been spoiled this year, especially if you're a new stacker, this is unusual. Indeed it is. And by the way, this big price movement, we celebrate it only so much that it gives us validation. Notwithstanding, it does not mean that the economy is going to crash. It does not mean that everything is just going to go south. But there are concerns. There's economic concerns, and there's other concerns geopolitically. And there's concerns about supply-demand fundamentals that will persist no matter what. That's going to be bullish for silver's price. But I think really, in a sense, the economy, at least to some extent, is the lesser of our worries here. With inflation continuing to hit us, it is at a point where it is somewhat manageable. In other words, it's not so bad that it's not going to prohibit some economic growth. And the GDP numbers that we've recently got is an example of that happening here. So we're in a situation here that's unique and different than what we saw in the past. So keep that in mind as we navigate through the markets here with silver. And this channel strives to bring you the latest news in the world of precious metals and analysis and my opinion. And of course, that opinion can sometimes be incorrect. But nonetheless, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Hope you found this video informative, insightful, and educational. Would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.